Welcome everyone to the Virtual Science Club. We're happy you're all here tonight. We are about to get started here. Is that sharing poll still up? Are y'all seeing that? No?
It's down now.
Okay, all right, it was stuck, okay. All right, so my name is Jason Moody. I work for the University of Tennessee and I help to coordinate and plan several STEM events here on campus. I know I see a lot of familiar names and faces here tonight, so you've probably seen me before. But I have a few things to share before we get started. I'm going to go back to my slideshow here. All right, so really before we start, a couple things. Number one, if you haven't done so yet, please go ahead and change your name so you can actually rename yourself on Zoom. Go ahead and do that for me. So include your name, and then after your name, put which breakout room you'd like to be in tonight. There are 4 options. I'll go back to those here. Human sciences, natural sciences, physical sciences, or engineering. If you are interested in math, I will ask you just go ahead and put physical sciences. So we'll send math students to physical sciences today. So again, 4 options: human sciences, natural sciences, physical sciences, and math. I know it says something different on the screen. And then engineering is the 4th option. So do that while I'm talking. That's the first announcement. The second thing is we're actually giving away a prize at the end of tonight. It's a hydraulic arm kit. So you can put it together at home. We'll ship this to you if you do win it, but stick around, and after our breakout rooms later today or later tonight, we will give this away. We're going to give away 2. So we'll give away 2. All right, and just so you're aware, we'll end the breakout rooms at least at 7:55, so about 5 minutes before 8 at the very latest to do that, and then we'll conclude the meeting tonight. Okay, and if you aren't familiar with where you are tonight, I know a lot of people have been before to our Virtual Science Club, but if there's anyone new in the room, Virtual Science Club meets 2 times every month. Our first session each month is a guest speaker. The last session was a guest speaker, but today what you're in is a breakout room session where we actually break out into research areas here in the next few minutes. So the next meeting is scheduled for January the 5th. It'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern time. That's also a Tuesday. It's always Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And we will have Dr. Abdelmamin, who's an assistant professor at the University of Tennessee in Biosystems Engineering and Soil Science. So he will be speaking to you all in the new year. This is our last one of 2020. All right, next up, just one quick note. I sent you guys a Zoom poll and a little quiz on this, but I have highlighted here the SASA pre-approval deadline's coming up quick. So if you're looking to do a project and enter it into the Southern Appalachian Science and Engineering Fair, you do have exactly 1 month from today to get that project approved. So if your project involves animals or if it involves any kind of human subjects or anything that could be a little bit dangerous, go ahead and do that. Do that now. Get it approved before you enter your project into the fair. All right, and one last thing to mention, we talked about this last time, so many of you may have heard this, but the science fair, while it's typically held in Thompson-Boling, physically all together in one place, it won't be in 2021. The science fair is going to be held at the end of March 2021 virtually. So that will change a little bit of what you've done if you've ever participated in the past. You won't make a traditional poster like you've done before where you set it on a table and talk to judges about it. You'll actually make a slide deck or a slideshow, and it'll look a little bit like what I'm doing right now, and you'll present that to the judges. You'll also need to do a quad chart, which is essentially a 1-page summary on your project. And lastly, you have the option to record a 2-minute video of yourself to send to the judges ahead of time. So that's about it as far as announcements today. If you want to find more info on the virtual fair guidelines, it is on our website. And you can also email me at prep@utk.edu. All right, so I think I hit on everything. Our next item is Dr. Deborah Crawford. She is the actually new Vice Chancellor for Research for the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. And she's actually been kind enough to send us a little video message to just discuss briefly her role and a little bit about herself and why research is important to what was important to her career and certainly could be for yours too. So give me a moment to pull that up.
Good evening, future scientists and engineers. I'm Deb Crawford, and I'm the Vice Chancellor for Research at the University of Tennessee here in Knoxville. And I'm just delighted to be able to speak with you all this evening. Did you know that university research has made a huge difference in the world? Let me just provide you with a couple of examples. The search engine that powers Google, guess what? Invented by university researchers. Super accurate diagnostic tools to detect disease? Yep, also invented by university faculty and students. Models that predict extreme weather events like hurricanes and tornadoes? Yes, also invented by university faculty and students. I'm an electronic engineer turned computer scientist, and I grew up in a small village in Scotland. My parents didn't know anyone with a PhD, and they didn't really understand what research was, but they encouraged me to study hard in school and to go on to college. And that I did. In my senior year in college, I had the opportunity to work with one of my faculty instructors on some research that studied how solitons propagate in optical fibers. And that's where I caught the research bug. I decided then and there that I had to go on and get my PhD. Now, I graduated with my PhD over 30 years ago, and my career since has been immensely rewarding. I worked on a team developing transistor technologies that are now incorporated in wireless systems that have created new economic opportunities for communities in remote regions around the world. I studied powerful quantum effects in materials that are leading to radically different types of computing machines. And I had the awe-inspiring opportunity to travel to the South Pole, to the very end of the Earth, to oversee the installation of the world's largest neutrino detector. Encased in a cubic kilometer of ice, IceCube, as it's aptly called, searches for these nearly massless subatomic particles to help us understand things like exploding stars, gamma ray bursts, and the cataclysmic phenomena involving black holes and neutron stars. Research in science and engineering truly opened up my world in ways that I could never have imagined. So I hope that you all will consider forging your paths as scientists and engineers, and that you'll think about starting your journeys here at the University of Tennessee, where we provide students just like you with many opportunities to engage in the discovery process. For example, at UT, you could work with Professor Nina Pfefferman, who develops mathematical models to understand infectious disease dynamics. In the midst of a global pandemic, You can't get any more relevant than that. Or come work with Professor Amy Elias, who leads the UT Humanities Center. She and her colleagues are using the power of critical thinking and analysis that humanists bring to science and technology to help us better understand how to create technologies that make our world more just. Or work with Professor Jason Scott, who studies how perceptions of parental support and individual motivation have an effect on youth physical activity and on their health and well-being. Or work with Professor Uday Vaidya, who's developing advanced composites materials that will create a more robust circular economy, leading to a more sustainable future. Professors Pfefferman, Elias, Scott, and Vaidya are just 4 of our fabulous faculty researchers. There are many, many more with whom you could work. It is more important now than ever before for scientists and engineers to come together to help solve the world's most pressing problems, such as pandemics, infectious diseases that cause pandemics, poverty, injustice, food and water shortages, climate change, and security. Come join me and countless other scientists and engineers to make the world a better place. Thank you.
All right, big thank you to Dr. Crawford. We are going to move on here, and we're about to go to our breakout rooms. So while I'm finishing up adding you all to a room, just a reminder, if you didn't know already, this will give you just a few minutes to go find something if you don't have it ready. Your favorite book or your favorite movie. Make sure you have that ready to go. We're going to have everyone share their favorite book or their favorite movie when they enter their breakout room as an icebreaker. And then we'll go into the STEM and the project discussion after that. So here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and break everyone out. But again, bring that book or movie with you.